My understanding is that the NYPD is still going to need to be there present to police the event. What
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. Provosol fungicide from BASF is the newest leaf spot control innovation for peanut farmers. Add Provosol fungicide to your disease control program to break up resistance and to keep every other product you use working harder for longer.
Provosol fungicide is to plant fields what vowels are to the English language. With it, disease control sind compult.
It couldn't be any clearer. Provosol fungicide is to peanut fields what vowels are to the English language. Without it, disease control isn't complete. Provosol fungicide from BASF is the missing piece you need to finish off disease. Always read and follow label directions.
In news around the peanut belt, the American Peanut Council has decided they're going to have a webinar. This is a one called Growing Together webinar on Wednesday, May the 19th. The topic is building a better peanut through desirable traits through genetic innovation. Dr. Steve Brown, the director of the Peanut Research Foundation, will be interviewing some of the key scientists in this project. They finished phase 1 by the Peanut Foundation, and now they're going to phase 2 to try to create some various advantages under agronomics, along with taste, functionality, and other consumer benefits. The Peanut Research Foundation will interview Dr. David Baratelli of the University of Georgia, Dr. Josh Clevenger from Hudson Alpha Institute, and the Dr. Corley Holbrook of USDA ARS. Remember, today's program brought to you by Provosol fungicide from BASF. It's the newest leaf spot control innovation for peanut farmers. Add Provosol fungicide to your disease control program to break up resistance and to keep every other product you use working harder. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Partly sunny and nice today, high 84 to 86. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low 64 to 69. Pleasant tomorrow, sunshine and patchy clouds, high 85 to 87. Nice on Wednesday with clouds and sunshine, high 84 to 89. Thursday, partly sunny, breezy and pleasant, high 83 to 86. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Monday morning, Monday tax day. Today is May 17th, the last day to file your taxes without having to get an exemption so that you could delay so you could file later. It had been pushed from April 15th to May 15th, but because May 15th was on a Saturday, that means May 17th would be the last day to file your taxes. So if you hadn't done that yet, you're cutting it close. June 5th, I want to talk about that day for a minute. It is a benefit that will benefit the Chief Greg Graham Legacy Fund. It's going to be an all-day poker run. It's going to end with a band and a night geared towards motorcycle enthusiasts. It's June 5th, $20 to enter, $5 for passengers. It's sponsored by the Copperhead Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club and the Punishers Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club, both here in the Ocala area. There's going to be raffles, food trucks, activities, booth activities, live music, all-day poker run. It's going to start at Ride Now Sports and go to Our Place Saloon, then the Anchor on Sunset Harbor, then to Opus Bar and Billiards, and end at O'Callahan's Pub and Eatery, where the Bearded Brothers will be playing. All event donations and proceeds benefit the Chief Greg Graham Legacy Fund. It is unity within the community. Brick City, sponsored by the Copperhead Motorcycle Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club and the Punishers Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club. It's going to be a good day, and all the proceeds go to benefit the Chief Greg Graham Legacy Fund, so it'll help fund his amnesty program that is still going strong, and some other entities that were at the heart of the man that Greg Graham was. So I encourage you to become a part of the Chief Greg Graham Legacy Fund Motorcycle Poker Run, June 5th. If you want more information, tom@woca.com. Email me at tom@woca.com. And I'll get you some more information out about that and how you can participate in the Motorcycle All-Day Poker Run to benefit the Chief Greg Graham Legacy Fund. 622-9622 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the program. 622-9622 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the program. I had the weekend to myself this weekend, and I'll be honest with you, it's a little different when you're bacheloring it and you're on your own. And although fantastic fiance made sure I had, she does these pre-cooked meals where she'll cook she takes pizza dough and puts sloppy Joe mix in the pizza dough and then wraps it up in like a biscuit or something and cooks it, and you can eat on that for a couple of days. And she makes a breakfast quiche and you can eat on that for a couple of days. So, it's not, but it was things like taking care of the dogs. And we have 4 dogs, and I tell you, they're escape artists. And if you know what I'm talking about, if you have dogs that are escape artists, you know what I'm talking about. We have a chain link fence along the whole backyard. Every week they find another weakness in this chain link fence. And I mean, it's a good chain link fence, strong, got the bottom wire along the bottom and everything. But they'll press and push their way out and dig out underneath it. And short of putting up an electric wire to pop them a couple times to teach them not to go near the fence, I'm at my wit's end. Saturday night, I come home. I'd been out with some friends. I come home Saturday night. Lo and behold, about midnight, a beating comes on the door, almost like you would see in one of these cop shows where, they come to the door and they're going to kick your door in and everything. I open the door, and a lady in a bathrobe screams at me, "Your dogs are out again. They're chasing my cat." And then she storms off and gets back in her car and leaves. I couldn't pick this lady out of a lineup right now if she was the only person in the lineup. I was home by about 11. I'm in the bed. I'm a little sleeping. 12 to 15, this beating on the door comes. You're half awake. I walk out. She screams at me about my dogs and then walks off. So I get up, push the water in my face and everything, go walking around my neighborhood trying to find my dogs. Nothing. Not a dog to be found. So I go back in, go to sleep, get back in. I go, I looked. Go back and get in the bed. Somebody said, "Why do you find the dogs?" Look, I was out there for 20 minutes. Dogs were nowhere to be found. So I go back in, get in the bed. At about 4:30 in the morning, I hear scratching at my front door. I get up. I open the door. Here comes both dogs right in the house, exhausted, throw themselves on their dog beds like they're on their deathbed. I don't know where they've been. Who knows? Out partying, eating bonbons, drinking Diet Cokes. I got nothing. I don't know what they're doing. But I do know I got an irate neighbor that come over to my house at 12:15 in the morning in her house coat to scream at me. So I'm at my wit's end with these dogs because I went out and I found the spot where they had dug this time. And, I put some stopgap up and took some zip ties and zip tied it into place so they can't get out there. They'll just find another spot. And I don't understand it either. They got a whole half acre of a backyard. It's not like it's a small backyard. And it's just 2 out of the 4. The other 2 dogs look at them like, "Why are y'all running away? They feed us here. We get to sleep on couches. We have nothing to do with our lives except just live the high life. And you want to run away from this? I'm really at my wit's end, folks. If you got any ideas on how to keep them in the yard, please, 622-9622. I've tried everything. I mean, short of putting up the electronic zappers on them so that they get zapped. And I'm hesitant to do that just because I don't want them to get zapped. But it's almost to the point where that's got to happen now. I mean, what do? Because I know you put the electric fence up, you plug it in, they get zapped once or twice, then you can unplug it. They don't have to worry. They're never going near it again. Although mine would probably try it, see if it was off, dig out. Because they're escape artists. It's just one of those situations where you try to do what's right. And by the way, you got to balance your neighbors now, because now I got a neighbor that's angry with me. Because my dogs were chasing her cat, according to her, at 12:15 in the morning. My dogs live with a cat. They don't chase her, but that's because she killed him probably. But I'm really up against it. I got no answer for what to do. None. And it's driving me crazy. We'll be back up this timeout, tell you about a new road project that's really going to help out if you live in that area of the county. We'll talk about that next. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
We're back. The 30th Orlando International Fringe Theater Festival will take place May 18th to the 31st in Lock Haven Park, and digitally June 4th through the 18th through a new program called DigiFringe. Enjoy performances from artists all around the world. Ticket prices range from free to $12 and are available online at orlandofringe.org or at the box office.
Professor fungicide is to Pentfields what vowels are to the English language. With it, disease control sind compult.
It couldn't be any clearer. Provosol fungicide is to peanut fields what vowels are to the English language. Without it, disease control isn't complete. Provosol fungicide from BASF is the missing piece you need to finish off disease. Always read and follow label directions.
Florida voters overwhelmingly passed a constitutional amendment to do one simple thing. Require that any expansion of gambling be approved by the voters, not the politicians, not the lobbyists. It's called voter control of gambling, and it's the law. But gambling lobbyists want politicians to break it. They've hatched a plan to expand gambling without your approval. More casinos, legalized sports betting, even slot machines on cell phones, just like the strip mall casinos that called themselves internet cafes. All over again, and all cooked up by Tallahassee lobbyists. It would be the biggest expansion of gambling in Florida history without the biggest thing required by Florida's Constitution: your approval. Voter control of gambling isn't a suggestion. It's the law. Tell your legislator, don't break it. Sponsored by No Casinos.
On this episode of What Not to Do, brought to you by
Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
I thought I told you to call Mike Scott Plumbing to get this leak fixed.
I did call the plumbers. They were just here.
Let me get this straight. You're telling me Mike Scott Plumbing was just here?
Well, not exactly.
Well, then who exactly was here?
You know, the other plumbers. They were having a sale.
Is that why there's duct tape on my toilet?
Wait, I don't see any, that duct tape. Well, at least it matches the grout color.
There's a reason we only call Mike Scott Plumbing. They're on time, every time. They don't charge extra for nights, weekends, or holidays. And most importantly, and I need you to pay attention on this part, they actually fix it.
Okay, so you want me to try to fix it?
Yes, I do. By calling Mike Scott Plumbing, like you should have done in the first place.
Yes, dear. What's the number again?
You really should know this by heart. 866-314-4443.
Got it. 866-314-4443. On next week's episode of What Not to Do.
Seriously? A helicopter?
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to.
Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years?